And we're live-ish. Hey guys, welcome to the hot seat. Really
Love
excited
line
to
for
talk to
business.
Mayra today. What's that?
The love line for business.
Well, that's a good question. Will this stay the hot seat, and then the love line for business is everything else, or is
That's a good
everything now the
question.
love
You know what
line
we
for
could do
business?
to differentiate them
Okay.
is this one's the hot seat. It's kind of like love line for business. And then the other one, this is love line for business. It's kind of like a hot seat.
I'll go with that.
Just,
that works for me.
And that way we can kind of keep them. So,
Welcome to the hot seat. It's kind of like the love line for business.
there.
A couple of public service announcements before we start talking to Mayra. One, if you haven't come to church last Sunday, please come to church this Sunday. Coffee with Ryan is probably the best 2 hours you can spend on your Sunday morning. I really encourage you to come and join us there. That's public service announcement number one. Secondly, as you might notice from us talking about it here and everything we posted in the group, Greg and I have started a breakout podcast as a result of us really enjoying doing this. It's called Love Line for Business. And if you're interested in joining that, hit us up or find one of our links we post in the group to get on our calendar. We'd love to interview you, whether you're already in business or you're starting a business or you're trying to figure out what the hell to do. That would be lots of fun. Third order of business is we also intend to continue doing the hot seat, which is like Love Line for Business here in the 1%. So if you're interested in coming on here, which won't be published to the entire world through podcasts, please let us know, and we'd love to talk to you. The next episode will be up in 2 weeks from now. All right, with all of that, hey Mayra, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
So why don't you tell us, I think I've looked a little bit at what we've interacted a little bit. I'm not entirely clear on exactly what sort of you're trying to get at, and then maybe we can see how we can help you out. But maybe tell us a little bit about what you're up to.
And that right there is proof that my audience is confused.
Possibly, but maybe I'm not your audience.
No, I've gotten that feedback before from like friends and family and things like that. They're like, Mayra, we don't know what the heck you do. We don't know what you're doing. One moment you're doing one thing and one moment you're doing some other thing, and we're kind of confused. So we can't hire you or support you because we don't know what the heck you do. So it's kind of part of the reason why I'm here.
So maybe I should ask that differently then. What would you like to be doing?
So I feel like my biggest issue here is I'm very multi-passionate, and when I see my big dream, it's on a very big scale, so it's like huge. And I think my problem is what like, where do I start to get there? Like, what do I need to focus on right now that can get me over there to do all those things? Because I know that doing multiple things is possible, but I can't seem to just choose one and just run with that.
So Mayra, what is it that you'd like to be doing?
I know, see?
We'll get that. I have all night.
Okay, so I studied nutrition. I am a health coach, and I'm super passionate about health and wellness and whatnot. So I started a blog called Nutrition Dork, which has been abandoned for a while. But my vision for that blog was to do like maybe some affiliate marketing in there, and I do promote like a lot of different products for different health and wellness stuff. I'm super passionate about like making favorite foods into healthier ways. Of course, I'm Puerto Rican, so what I mainly cook is Puerto Rican food in a healthy way. So I sometimes get confused on if Puerto Ricans are my target audience or not, because I sometimes don't want it to be. Like, I want this to be for everybody. So I started that blog, and, I am a health coach, but I would like to make more of a sustainable income. Health coaching is it's kind of something that kind of comes and goes. It's not really consistent. It's not something that I can just walk away from my job, doesn't pay the bills. Let's just put it that way. Unless, you know, you're a super known health coach and you're charging thousands of dollars, and, you know, but I don't have that audience.
But so maybe there's a different way of asking this question, and everything that you're describing describes 97.86% of the thoughts that have gone through my head with everything that involves entrepreneurship. But it's so you're not alone. You're in good company, but you seem to be connecting two things, and sometimes they get in the way. One is I'm still trying to figure out what it is exactly that you're saying that you want to do. And then you're saying, but that can't make money, so I'll go do something to make money on the side. But suppose for a second that you won the lottery. If that was the case, what would you like to do? What would you do with your time?
Okay. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would, well, we're in quarantine, it's Corona, but if that didn't exist either.
No Corona, millions of dollars. If you suddenly run out of millions of dollars, poof, there's more millions of dollars.
I would like to invest in real estate, you know, have a couple properties, but mainly I would like a building where I can open up a health and wellness facility and open up a dance studio. So that's like my big dream, is to have like a dance studio. It's gonna be like a health club, but without the alcohol. So if you want to come and dance without, you know, wanting to get hit on or having to dress up like going to the club, then it would be kind of like that type of scenery, but for health nuts that want to come in and drink green juice and dance. And there's going to be classes being provided, and we're just going to have this big fun party.
So it's more, it's like a gym, but more dance orientated rather than, it's not like a club. It's more like a dancey gym.
Yes.
Okay. With a juice bar.
Yeah, with a juice bar. Yes.
And would you be doing like also like cooking classes there or stuff like that? Or was that just a stepping stone to get to the dance studio?
I think it's a stepping stone to get to the dance studio. I wouldn't be opposed to partnering up with other health and wellness people, and, you know, offered variety of services in the same location.
Right. So why are you going down so the reason you're doing the intermediate step of the health and wellness is because you think that will lead to you having the dance studio? Or
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you, and what would stop you now from having a dance studio?
The money to invest in something like that. Because I know that there's equipment need to be required for a lot of that. Well, I just feel like it's a lot. And I don't know. That's basically it.
So I understand, and you know it's interesting because these are exactly the kind of things that get in our way, and I'll give a personal example. So I've gone through every possible type of entrepreneurship with the aim of making enough money so that I can finally do what I want to do. None of the entrepreneurship has succeeded because the only thing that I'm trying to do with them is make enough money so that I can finally do what I want to do. And none of it has been about it. I've been through all sorts of, I've been through all the real estate. You said, oh, I'd like to have, you don't want any real estate. You're just saying that because you want the income from the real estate, right? I mean, sure. No, I mean, are you really passionate about buildings?
No.
Okay, so you don't want real estate. But a lot of people think that they do because it'll give them money, and then they think that they'll be free. And if what that really means is that if that's what you're saying, to me at least, that's meant that I haven't done enough work to get to the bottom of what I really want. And it's only been recently I'd say in the last half a year to a year that I've realized what I want is to be surrounded by really creative people who take charge of their own lives. And the way that I become surrounded by really creative people that take charge of their own lives is by being really creative and taking charge of my own life. And here I am. I've got a podcast. I have I have this show on the 1%. There's all these things that I'm doing, and magically I already have what I thought I needed to make millions in order to have. So it's sometimes you get things turned around. Now that doesn't mean that, okay, this is fine. So great. Brahm has a bunch of podcasts and he can stay in the job that he doesn't really like, and he continue, or whatever other issues that you have, and you can't change your reality. I think that's not what that means. I think what that means is that when you do things and all you're concentrated on is gathering money, it might work short term, but in the long term, it's going to make you miserable unless you're really into money. So if you can figure out what it is that you want and concentrate on that, figuring out how to turn that into money becomes easier. Not easy. It still takes real work, but that's what I've experienced. I mean, right, Greg, you've gone through something similar in the last year as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, as you were saying that, I was thinking about what the next question that I was going to ask Mayra to kind of, because I understand what you're saying about this grand vision and having something that involves a building and a lot of capital equipment. I mean, that's something that can be really hard to see how you get to, because there absolutely is a barrier of capital between where you are now and where you want to be. So what I'm curious about, though, is after you figure out how to build it and fund it and it's open for business, I'm curious about the people who are your customers, and I'd like to hear a little bit about them. Like who's the person that's going to pay you $60 a month to be a member of your club, come in and hang out at the juice bar, buy some more juice, do some dancing, and there's some health and fitness stuff. Who is that person, and kind of what do they look like right now? What other things do they do? What do they care about? What are they trying to achieve in their lives?
I think what I envision is people, especially women, that are self-conscious of sometimes just going to the gym or going to a dance class or even going to the club. And in this scenario, it's like everyone will be accepted just how you are. You just come and have fun. Mm-hmm. It's like the main purpose. And while you're there, you're having fun, you're getting exercise, you're being healthy, and there'll be like a variety of classes being shared for everyone's taste as well. I do see a lot more women probably just coming into this. I mean, not that men don't like to dance too, but I definitely would see more women joining this. Maybe the women that like Zumba or things like that, I do want more of a freestyle sort of as well. So people that limit themselves, like, oh, I can't do the choreography, or like, that's too hard, they go too fast. So then have something, a little bit for everyone. And
okay. So you see it really as a community. You want the members to be interacting with one another, to have relationships and friendships with one another. And you just want to facilitate these people being able to do something that they love without the self-consciousness of doing this in like a traditional club or certain gyms I know can be very intimidating. So you just want to create a safe place for this community to get together and do the fun things that they want to do without worrying about judgment or, anything like that. Is that accurate?
That is pretty accurate. Yeah. Without having to fix your hair and do your makeup. I mean, sounds glorious to me. I feel like mainly because that's what I want. Like I
Right.
want that somewhere and I can't find it. And I'm like, man, that would be really great if there was something like that for me right now.
Okay. I think I understand a little better what the end goal is. And so what Bram was leading to, and what I just took that tangent for, is if we can get really, really clear on what the end goal is and why that's the end goal, we can start looking for ways to plug that into our life right now, to take that reason, that purpose. So think about community, acceptance, a relationship building, and a feeling of having fun and being able to do the things that they want to do without that external pressure. So are there ways that you can start to facilitate that online with the community you already have, or the businesses you already have, or can those be pivoted or adjusted to kind of start accomplishing the goal of the feeling that you're going to give people when this club is open? But you can start gathering all of these people together now. And just, as an example, if you ended up with, a Facebook group or an Instagram account of 10,000 people who were just as passionate about this project as you were, who wanted to see this happen, how easy would it be to say, hey, we think we can put this together in 24 months. We have potential investors lined up. All they want to see is commitment from X number of customers, and then they're willing to fund it. You could go to your 10,000 people and say, if you could, pre-sign up for a membership now, we think we'll launch in 2 years, but just, pay the first month now, $60, whatever it may be. Give us your name, your info, and we can show our backers that we have 500 people or 1,000 people ready to show up on launch day. Then somebody's going to be a lot more willing to bankroll that. And it'd be a lot easier for you to bring in a capital partner and not have to worry about making millions of dollars somewhere else first. You just bring in somebody who's excited about the same things that you're excited about, and bring together the people who want to give you their money for you to create the thing that you just described. Just bring all of them together, and then it happens. And that doesn't have to take 10 years. That could happen in 6 months. That could happen in 12 months.
I'm just thinking even more practical than that. Mayra, what I would do is go around to the dance studios and the dance halls in your town and ask them when their slowest night is. And then find a dance studio that has like a super slow night and ask them if you can have it. And then one night a week, you have everything there. The dance studio is already there. They don't need it because they got 2 people coming in. They don't care. You'll give them whatever you manage to charge. You'll give them you can give them part of what you're taking on the people that are joining. There you go. You've got a dance studio. Setting up a juice bar is real easy, and it doesn't have to belong to you just to start. And even if you don't do it every week, do it once a month. Once a month, start feeling what it feels like to do that thing which you thought you'd be able to do after you won the lottery and you had a bunch of built real estate, and you'd finished a while being a nutritionist, and then you'd get this dance to it. You can do that next month, Corona willing.
Post-Corona.
Right, but that's and it'll start helping you figure out what the problems are in the dance studio world that you need to solve. You maybe not coming from that world, it will give you a fresh view on that. And more than anything else, it'll allow you to interact with people. And maybe, some of the ideas that you had, which you thought were good, your clients will tell you they're fantastic. And some of the things that you thought were going to work won't work out, but you'll have a laboratory to test them out in. Mm-hmm. And it's a month by month risk.
I love it.
So go do that. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it's something that I already had thought about. And I do have a place where I can host. I do have a friend that wanted to help me out. She's a dancer friend that used to own a dance studio. So that's definitely, like, I can see a collaboration with her.
So what's stopping you from doing that then?
To be completely honest, for a long time, what stopped me was my own health. I was diagnosed with Lyme disease 3 years ago, and that really put a stop on everything because I just didn't feel well. I felt like crap all the time. I was tired. I was trying to build the business for health coaching, but I didn't feel good myself. So it was like a period of time where I just needed to focus on myself. And, I just kind of came back at it last year. I've been following Ryan before that. I just been kind of lurking around, I guess. And it wasn't until recently that I did like the $1 million program and all that. And I had a completely different idea. I did not even bring this to the table because this is not a product. So, because I still am passionate about the food, like I love cooking food, and I have a cookbook that I've had on hold for 2 years now. It's how to make all the Puerto Rican foods in a healthy way. And kind of with that, I wanted to launch the healthy seasonings because the seasonings that we do have, are full of MSG and artificial colors and all this other stuff that, I make my own. And that's kind of like the product that I was promoting. And I have people asking me, Mayra, where are your seasonings? I want to buy from you. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know where they are. I haven't started that either.
The reason I took you down the road of where do you really want to be in the end doesn't negate everything you want to do before. But if you can do some of the stuff that you imagine yourself doing once you no longer have to worry about money, I believe it'll set your head free. And then when you go back and you do the cooking or the spices or the health coaching, there won't be as much, I don't think desperation is the right word, but it's a little bit of that where you're saying, I've really got to make this work because I gotta make sure that this is profitable immediately. And how do I monetize this? How do I make sure, instead of leaning into it and just doing it and then letting the monetization figure itself out, meaning if you have an audience, then monetization's easy. It's getting the audience that's difficult. The monetization is the easy part. And people usually do it the other way around. They assume that getting the audience is easy, but they spend months and years thinking about how they turn it into business and have spent no time building their audience and their customer base. So build the customer base, and then that'll turn into money by itself. So if you have a cookbook, so are you selling it? Where is it? Is it available?
Not yet.
Why not?
Because I keep wanting it to be perfect. And
yeah, there's no such thing.
I know, and it's ridiculous. So I actually talked to someone that he's a small local publisher, and he actually happens to be Latino. And so I'm kind of gonna use him to push me to just publish this thing and just get it done and put it on Amazon and just make me feel good about it. Because I sometimes just like, oh man, I just need to put it out there, but then I don't, and then I feel bad about myself and all this other stuff.
What needs to happen between now and you publishing that cookbook?
I personally would like feedback on it. Honestly, I think that's what holds me back. I would like someone to read it, like someone that knows about books. I have no idea.
Very simple. After we finish this call, you're going to go onto the 1%. You're going to you have a PDF version of it or something like that?
Yeah,
You're going to put that PDF, you're going to upload that as a file to the 1%, and you're going to ask everybody to read it and give you feedback. And most people won't, but you're going to get anywhere between 2 and 10 people that are going to give you really, really good feedback.
Yeah, okay.
And those same people will buy it when you publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people want it that I know that want it. It's just, like I said.
So give it to them.
I know the street team, I had mentioned it when the street thing was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a couple of the guys in there wanted it too.
So whoever's asking for it now, give it to them in PDF, give it to them in printed on paper tissue. It really doesn't matter. They want to see that. Being involved in someone else's creative process is really, really exciting. And there's nothing that people love more than to be able to say, I knew Mayra before she published that book. I knew when she gave it to me printed on, she printed it out herself, or she sent me the PDF. I saw it before she fixed all the typos.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too, like I made it myself. Like I haven't hired anyone to look at it. I haven't hired an editor. Like I designed it myself. I got all the pictures. Like I did all the work. I did it myself. And like I said, I'm not an expert on this, so I feel very self-conscious about it.
Do what Bram said, post it in the group.
Yeah.
Wait for feedback for between 2 and 10 people.
Yeah.
For the people that you know that have asked for it, give them the PDF copy and say, please look it over. Tell me what you think of it from a design perspective. Does it look like a cookbook should look? Try some recipes and tell me if you like them. And after you give me feedback, I'm going to put your name on the thank you page. And just add a thank you page. Thank you so much to the early adopters and the friends and family who helped me finally launch this book. List their names. And then they'll buy it. Even though they have the PDF,
they'll still buy the book.
They'll still buy the book. And they'll tell everybody they know how cool this book is because they helped you make it and their name is in it.
Yeah. A couple of people, so I was giving it away when we were in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, after I emailed, everyone that voted for me that obviously signed up to get it, I sent them a thank you email and all that and asked for feedback. And one of the girls called it like a Bible for her and her kids. So that was like pretty good to, to hear that from someone.
So this product is ready to launch, right?
Yes.
You just need a couple people to reassure you that it's not bad. Is that right? It's ready to launch.
Pretty much, yeah.
So do it.
Yeah, that needs to get launched really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to go do it.
Yeah. That needed to be launched yesterday.
That's okay. You can do it today.
Everyone's cooking at home now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're still buying stuff out, but most people are cooking.
And then the spices naturally run into that.
I mentioned them. I actually have the recipe in the book, which my boyfriend told me, why do you have the recipes if you're trying to sell them? And I'm like, because nobody's going to want to make them. Believe me, I make them myself and I don't want to make them. Yeah. I want it to be already mixed up together and I can just, sprinkle over
Absolutely.
Be done with it.
You should definitely give the recipe in the book. Yeah.
There's YouTube videos how to fix every possible thing about your car and still people go to car mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayra, if you have any hang up or hold up getting this published because of the actual publication piece, getting it printed and, shipping it to Amazon and all that, you can temporarily skip all of that too. And you can run this thing through Kindle Direct Publishing and have it be a print on demand book. So you can upload it to Amazon. And when somebody orders it, Amazon prints a physical copy of the book and ships it to them. And then you get the royalty for the sale, but you don't ever have to actually buy the inventory if you do it that way. So you could launch this over the weekend if you wanted to.
Yes. I'm already like, yes. I agree. I know. It's been on my mind for way too long. You know what I mean? It's like.
So wait for feedback. Wait for feedback or don't. But by the end of the month, you can launch this.
Yeah.
So put it together. If you need help with KDP, I know people who are good at that, so I can get them to help you out. But put it up there, and when it is ready for sale, post a link in the 1% and say, I did it. This is the cookbook. It is ready. It is published. It is ready for sale. If you've interacted with me, if you have read through this, if you're one of the early adopters, please help me out. Grab a copy. Tell your friends, share this elsewhere, and you'll be shocked. Yeah. You'll be shocked. And then you have a platform of people who have your cookbook and see the spice mix used in so many of these recipes. And so when that's ready to go, it's really easy to give all of these people the spice mix that they've been waiting for, because they want, like you said, they know how to make it, but they'd rather just buy it.
Oh yeah.
So, but the first step is just get that thing for sale and sell it.
You guys, I was nervous about this, but this has been great, honestly. Like, this was really, really more than I thought. I didn't even think we were going to be talking about the dance studio, I gotta be honest.
I didn't either, but we got there pretty quickly.
Yeah, not many people know about this, I gotta be honest. And for me to share it with you guys and the 1% and everybody, that means a lot, because I think like 3, maybe 4 people know about this dream of mine. So
what I've learned over the last couple of years is that I've had dreams or goals that were so audacious that I didn't want to share them with anyone else, because when I failed, it would be too humiliating. When I started to tell people what I was going to do and what I was going to achieve, it is scary, but it also holds me accountable. Like, now, even if I don't achieve that, I hope I can show them that I've made some progress towards that goal. And what I've found is that when I'm openly sharing what I'm doing and working towards, that other people open up and share what they're doing and what they're working towards. And when you find, 2 people where something aligns and you can actually help each other out, it's absolutely amazing. So I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time in this world doing everything by myself in my little silo, in my little, basement office here. And everybody else was my enemy. Everybody else was my competition. And so I didn't, talk about what I was doing or what I was selling or how I was doing it. I was just sucking in information like a leech and never sharing with anybody else, and being afraid to tell people what it was, that I was working on and what I wanted to do. And as I've slowly turned the corner on that, I cannot tell you how much everything has changed. So I love all the things I'm doing now, and I'm so excited to find other people doing something similar. And instead of viewing them as competition, I see them as peers and as collaborators, and I love to talk with them about, what we're doing and how we're doing it, and just the realization that this world is so much bigger than we can imagine. There's plenty of room for everything that you want to do and everything that I want to do and everything that Bram wants to do. And our success doesn't take away from anybody else's. So just, being willing to be open and honest about what you want, I think you will find that is going to attract people to you who want the same thing and have a piece of what you need to get there.
I agree. Thank you for that. As you were speaking, it's something that I have dealt with. Like you said, I've been a loner and in this for a very long time, and I'm finally opening up and sharing with people. And I eventually see Nutrition Dork being more of collaborative work than just being me being the Nutrition Dork.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people know me for. It's like, oh, you're the Nutrition Dork. Some people call me. I'm like, okay, Mayra, the Nutrition Dork. Like, how can I change that? I can't. Like, I'm the Nutrition Dork now. But I eventually see that being more of a platform of collaborators and bringing other people in health and wellness to do their own blogs and offer
Mm-hmm.
their own things in there, and we work together, refer people to each other and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really want that platform to be, not just my blog and my business.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Post about that in the 1%. There are other people in your field, in your niche, who are probably eager to cross-pollinate some audiences and share content with each other. So you can make that happen right after this call.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great. And I see, I can see it, you know what I mean? I can see
Mm-hmm.
other people's books in there, not just mine, other people's recipes all around the world, recipes. Because Nutrition Dork for me, it's not about just one type of specific nutrition. I don't believe in one size fit all. Like, I want it to be welcoming to everybody. If you're vegan, if you're paleo, if you keto, I don't care. You know, as long as you're learning how to do nutrition in the right way and eat your vegetables, you know, that I feel like it works. Whatever works for you, I'm okay with that. If it works for you. If it's not working for you, then we need to figure out what works for you. That's how I work with my clients. And that's how, like, I don't want to promote any one single thing, you know, in there. So.
Cool.
Entrepreneurship can be really, really lonely. The way that most people go at it is incredibly lonely. It's all about doing it by yourself. There's this mythology of bootstrapping that people mistake it for doing everything by yourself in a dark basement with no other human contact. You just have to work. And that so negates our nature, which is to be surrounded by other people. And people have a natural affinity to collaborate. So if you have a platform and where you'd love to have other people come in with their recipe books and their approaches to nutrition and what have you, you're now just giving a whole bunch of people permission to step out of their isolation and collaborate with you and solve their own loneliness because they've been trying to do this by themselves. And here, there's someone else here. And you know what? They've solved, I don't have to figure out how to, you know, spin off a website and get this on, but I love writing about it, or I love talking about it, or I have this book ready. That's a gift you can give people, and you'll be surprised how many people that have all this, have material ready to go that they've kept in a drawer because they couldn't get past them spinning by themselves in their dark room in their basement.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I'm really excited to see what happens. I want to come dance at yours. I'm a terrible dancer, but I love dancing terribly. So I can't wait to come dance at your dance studio once it's up and running. Buffalo's only, you know, Buffalo should be thawed out by July. And maybe we'll see what's going on. Greg, you had to scream at your kids. I just had to do that a minute ago.
Yeah, we're good.
That's fine.
Quarantine life, man. trying to record videos nowadays. Anyways, my final thought is, Mayra, you are so close on so many things. So you are at the finish line. You were just right there. So in my opinion, what you need to do right after this call is post in the 1% and ask for anybody who's interested in collaborating with you on your blog, and just get that initiated, and you can start to kind of put that together. And then you need to get this cookbook published by the end of the month. If you feel comfortable with both of those two things, if you feel like those both move you in the direction that you want to move, then those are so doable very, very quickly. And the cookbook being published, collaboration on the blog, you are starting to gather the people together who are going to help you to put together the dance studio. So after those things are well underway, do what Bram said and team up with your friend who has space, and you can start experimenting with the pop-up dance studio thing. This is all doable so quickly. So you're this far away from being able to have everything that you told us you wanted. You're this close. So we have to, Bram and I are gonna push you over the finish line, but you're right there. You're right there.
Yeah, you're my cheerleaders. I'm excited. Like, I'm already like so excited about it. You know, I can see it. I can feel it. It just gave me chills.
Cool.
Excellent. Okay, we'll be watching you, Mayra. We're there to help you, but also to make sure that it happens. Because like Greg said, there's no reason it doesn't. It's all ready. If
you feel like you get stuck on anything, throw up your hand.
Yeah, we'll come help you.
We'll get, if we can't do it, we'll find the person who can. But you are so close. You've just got to take a few steps, and you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
I know. I feel the feels. It feels so good to have, people that understand you.
Excellent. I'm gonna
Awesome.